Hey, this is Kelly from the Dolly Rocks.
This is Joe Queer from the Infamous Queers.
Hey, Sleepy P. Martini.
Hey, this is Indica Flower.
And you are listening to
Our Brains Hurt.
Our Brains Hurt.
Our Brains Hurt.
Losers.
Well, they needed a jingle for their stupid little show, so they called up the Jasons and we said, fuck no. Then they called us again and they gave us $20 and we wrote them a song that said, your podcast sucks. Then they gave us more money and they asked us really nice and we finally gave in and we said, all right, I'll write you a song, but it's gonna be a clone of a Screeching Weasel song that we heard a while ago. So we wrote them a jingle and it sounded really rad. It was the best little jingle that the podcast ever had, but the file got corrupted and the email didn't work. Now they're stuck without a jingle singing our brains hurt. Our brains hurt, our brains hurt, our brains hurt. Our brains hurt, our brains hurt, our brains hurt. Our brains hurt, our brains hurt, our brains hurt. Our brains hurt, our brains hurt, our brains hurt. In a very non-copyright infringing sort of way.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Our Brains Hurts. This episode is brought to you by PunkBox. If you're looking for an awesome gift idea for yourself or for somebody else, head over to punkboxrocks.com. That's punkboxrocks.com. Sign up for their awesome monthly punk rock merch subscription service. Each month, a box of merch will be sent to your house. Stuff you would normally find at a merch table at a punk show. Things could include cassettes, CDs, vinyl, patches, buttons, pins, coffee, all sorts of cool shit. You never know what you're going to get. It's an awesome gift. Head over to punkboxrocks.com. This show is also brought to you by Merch Slut. Head over to merchslut.com for awesome band t-shirts, punk rock band t-shirts. Merch Slut gets her shirts directly from the band or the label. These are not cheap knockoffs. She also has a wide array of awesome punk rock merch. Merchslut.com. Also, don't forget, next month we have two shows coming up. August 30th at the Pie Shop in DC, Belvedere, coming down from Canada, playing with Paperback Tragedy, Idle Minds, and Morals. That's Wednesday, August 30th at the Pie Shop. Go to pieshopdc.com for tickets. And September 2nd at DC9, Dolly Rots. We'll be here with Tsunami Bomb, Over Our Eyes, and Dead End Lane. So head over to DC9 and get your tickets for that. Two awesome shows, just a few days apart. All right, that's all for the business stuff. Now, let's get to the show. Tonight, we are talking to 75% of American television.
So actually, everybody that's going to be on tonight, we've had on this podcast before. So this will be, we've had Steve and Brian were on the last time we had American television on. And then Chris was on by himself before he was in American television.
Right.
Or Strider Sound, as some people know him. The guy I did that single with called Foxglove that we played on here a little bit ago. He is the new lead guitarist for American television now.
I'm in the middle of like a 12-day off period.
Oh, so you still
know what to do with myself.
I know. I saw you made a post on social media the other day, like in the middle of the day. You're like, maybe because I'm drinking, but RKL is the best punk band that's ever graced the face of this thing.
Yeah, I was drinking Pumpkin and watching fucking YouTube videos on my TV.
Yep, that's how you do it.
And just watching, like, I'm telling you, man, Joe Raposo, fucking alien.
Yeah, he's good. Oh, what you sipping on there?
Sam Adams Oktoberfest.
Oh, wow, that was an interesting color for Sam Adams Oktoberfest.
Well, it's really orange. It's my fucking computer that's coming out like a cream color, but it's actually.
Oh, how is it this year? Because it always changes a little bit every year, you know.
It's good, yeah. It's good. It's always solid though, you know.
Yeah,
it's always a great beer. Yeah.
The last 2 years were amazing.
Yes.
There was a little while there previous to the last 2 or 3 years where it wasn't that great.
You know, it's funny you say that because when I first drank it years ago, it was like amazing.
The best beer on the face of the fucking planet.
Yeah. Like it was the best. Yeah. It was like the best fucking thing. And then, yeah, there were a few years where I was like, I don't know why I like this that much.
Why do I remember? Yeah. Why do I remember?
Yeah.
This? So amazing.
But you're right. It is a little different every year. But,
it is. But they did something a few years back where they went back to what they once did and everybody loves it again.
Yeah.
And I want to say it was the last 2 years, might be the last 3 years. It's been amazing again.
Yeah, it's a solid Oktoberfest. I mean, you know, if you're not into the pumpkin beers and shit, but you still want to get festive.
That's the first thing I ever got drunk on in public.
Oktoberfest? Sam Adams Oktoberfest?
Sam Adams Oktoberfest. Yeah,
Nice.
in Massachusetts, actually. I was in Acton, Boxborough with my cousin, and we went to
Nice.
an Oktoberfest in Acton, and we were like 18,
Nice.
you know, 18 or 19, and like walking around this, and like all the adults were just like, "What? You guys got two hands? Why don't you have two beers?" You know, stuff like that. And we just kept getting like fed. They were like, "Oh, whatever, it's Oktoberfest. We don't give a fuck. Just get drunk." And so we just kept getting fed free beers, just walking around like all day, like, and like, and we were like, "This is like the best beer ever."
It's so good. Yeah.
And that, it was sad that it kind of was not that great for a little while there.
Sam Adams is even like their Boston lager is good shit. I mean, that's like if I ever go to a bar and there's nothing decent,
Yeah, you
they
can
always have Sam Adams Boston lager, and it's always decent.
Yeah, you can always. Yeah, if you're not in the mood for like a like a light beer or or like a Pilsner or something like that, just like a cheap beer or a PBR or something, and you're like, I want something a little heavier, a little tastier. And they don't have what you want. A Sam Adams Boston Lager is always gonna do you right if that's what you're in the mood for. Speaking that we just talked about RKL, they're still stuck in my head. I can't get them out of my head.
Dude, that album. All right, it's Reactivate.
Yeah,
dude. So when I was driving to work and I was listening to it, and I was like, what happened to Jason Sears' voice? I'm like, this is really fucking bizarre. Not
Jason Sears.
No.
It's
Bomber has a killer voice, man.
He does. So Reactivate is like their controversial album.
It's a weird album.
Because, people didn't like it back in the day as much. And it was the hard one to find back in the 90s. You could find Rock and Roll Nightmare easy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you could sometimes find what's the name of their third one? I can't think of it off the top of my head. I'm gonna, but you could find that one. Like,
I thought Reactivate was their third one.
No,
yeah,
that's
their fourth.
No, it's the second one. They only have 3 full lengths.
I thought they had one before Rock and Roll Nightmare.
Nope, not officially. They may have had like demos and stuff. Riches to Rags. Yeah, Rock and Roll Nightmare was 1987, and then Reactivate was 1993, and Riches to Rags was 94.
Oh,
and that's it. They have the best of RKL has like a bunch of other songs that like a lot of the older stuff before Rock and Roll Nightmare, but I don't think they have an official album. They might, but that has all their like older stuff. I want to say it was just like a bunch of EPs and 7-inches, and
I would still send somebody to Live in a Dive if they had never heard RKL before.
Yeah, I mean, it's good
because if
you like live albums.
Yeah, but also it's also the sound quality for somehow for Live in a Dive is way better than the sound quality for like
Rock and Roll Nightmare.
Rock and Roll Nightmare. It's hard. Yeah.
I'm not really a live album guy, so like, when somebody sends me a live album, I'm like, meh. I like half the time I don't even listen to it.
Yeah,
because I'm not a live album guy. I like to go see live music, not listen to it with just my ears.
What say you, Chris?
I think modern recording technology has afforded that band and lots of others to sound great live now. Ron, I feel like I haven't seen you since the last time I saw you.
Probably not. That's probably, yeah.
It probably was the last time I saw you.
And I probably won't see you again until the next time I see you.
Probably not.
Which would be crazy.
Almost definitely not.
Until we meet again for the first time, for the last time.
How's life, man?
That's good. Good. Yeah. Cruising along. Everybody's happy and healthy. What about you?
Same. Yeah, my daughters just went back to college this past weekend, so
nice.
Back to living the dream.
It's back to just being naked and drunk all by yourselves.
Yeah.
The glory day.
What are we drinking today?
Yeah, I was just about to ask you.
I got some Breckenridge.
Oh, nice.
Hell
it's delicious. The Caribbean cask. I can't find it over here right now, but that one is super good.
Hi, Brian.
How you doing?
What's up, guys? How you doing tonight?
How are you?
Excellent.
Doing great.
I'm loving the O's jersey or T-shirt.
Oh.
I can't tell. Yeah, one of the.
It's
other.
just a T-shirt.
Okay. Who is it?
Matt Wieters. It's a couple years old. A couple years old.
Yeah, a little old. Hey, well, we can both be Wieters fans because he came over to the Nats for a season.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Did he get better that year?
He was good for us, but
Yeah.
he only played for us for one season. So I think it was one season. Maybe it was two.
It may have been 2, and then he played
Yeah.
for St. Louis for a year, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe it was 2 he played for us. No, he stayed about the same.
Yeah, he was decent, but never lived up to his potential.
Yeah,
kinda.
the hype on Wieters was gigantic.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, where is RG3? Wasn't that a sports ball guy for a minute?
In a ditch somewhere.
He's
on-
announcing now.
Yeah, he's on ESPN. He does college football stuff, and he does like those talking head shows
Yeah.
on ESPN.
Yeah, he's a sports guy talking head.
And he posts, inspirational quotes on Twitter or X. Sorry, X.
Are they cat posters?
No, they're more like no pressure, no diamonds, that kind of stuff.
Well, I'm pumped now.
Yeah.
Brian's got zingers tonight.
Oh boy.
No pressure.
Matt, I'm pleasantly surprised that we are sleeveless.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a rare occurrence to see you sleeveless, if I ever have at all.
I'm sleeveless in 2 places, at home and then when I go to my buddy Tim's pool. That's where
I thought you were going to say I'm sleeveless up here and I'm sleeveless down there.
Oh, you don't know what's going on downstairs.
My pants don't have any sleeves either.
We don't switch to the crotch cam until the middle of the podcast.
Did I tell you it was a couple of years ago now? I did this like virtual event with some dudes from this company, and they had broken off from the Siberian or Trans-Siberian Orchestra. And this dude was going through like this whole musical number, and like somebody asked like, "Hey, how do you do it?" And he reached up, he grabbed his camera, and he was like, "Well, here, let me show you." And he was just in boxers. And it's like, dude, not even like a pair of comfy shorts, just your
That's
underwear and like a button-up shirt. Come on.
Going back to what we were talking about earlier, just to finish it up, Chris, and I feel like I have to do this just because it's you.
Oh, you should.
This is what I have tonight. Yeah. I got your Miller Lights. I'm doing this in ode of you. I went and got a 12-pack in ode of you.
Well, it's funny. I actually went to grab a beer and I was like, I'm talking to Matt and Ron. Let me grab some bourbon.
Yeah. That's all right. I took care of the Miller Lights tonight for you.
And Ron's drinking the wrong month.
Never. It's
It looks so,
Oktoberfest.
it looks so dark for summer.
Then not only are the Oktoberfest beer out, but pumpkin beers are starting to hit too.
Yeah.
Already went through a bunch of those.
Yeah. Yeah,
My
it's
AC's on
people-
68, so it's like fall in my
Yep,
house.
yep, mine too. Since we got you here, Brian, and I already mentioned it, I got to talk more about the O's. Even though this isn't OBH sports, we can still talk a little bit baseball.
Sure.
But I got to talk about the O's, man. Like
Killing it.
Like what is happening in Baltimore right now?
Yeah, I mean they've outpaced all their expectations. It's pretty awesome. But my wife will tell you I'm a pessimistic sports fan. Being an Orioles fan kind of goes with it a little bit there, I think. And like I still think they're not that good. Like they have the best record in the American League, and I'm like, they're all right. Like
I mean, they're damn close to the best record in the majors.
Yeah. Texas is catching up though. Texas is only 2 games back in the American League. So
what do you think? I was, and this isn't something I've heard about in the sports media or not. It's just my own idea. Do you think that they're going to trade Mateo in the offseason?
I think they are. I'm not sure what his contract situation is, but he will not be on the team next year.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Like they've been.
I'm
playing him
surprised
less
he's
and
on the
less and less.
team now.
Yeah, I mean, because he's amazing in the field. Like,
Yeah,
he's absolutely amazing in the field.
Yeah.
But you know,
he
Are you
started
re-
off the season like really good in like April and part of May
Yeah.
offensively, and it was like, oh, like,
yeah, who's this?
yeah. And then that has like just bottomed out.
Because
Yeah.
I don't think there's any way that they're keeping Gunnar Henderson out of the shortstop position next season.
I think the only way they keep Gunnar Henderson out of the shortstop position next season is if Jackson Holiday is playing shortstop for them next year.
Hey, that's one of their prospects, right?
He is the number one prospect in all of baseball, and he is, I think, 19 years old.
Wow.
So he's, they drafted him last year.
We have the number 2 prospect in all baseball now.
Yeah, that what's his name? Cruz, that just
Dylan
came
Cruz.
out of LSU. Yeah,
Yeah.
He's a little older because he went through college, but
Yeah, I think he's 24.
yeah. So Jackson Holiday's a kid, and he's already done both single A, and he's at Bowie right now, which is double A.
Yeah, he'll be playing. He'll be in the
Yeah.
majors next year. They both will. Both him and Cruz will be in the majors next year.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know what long-term projection for him as a major league shortstop, but that would be him at short and Gunnar at third. I could see that's what they go with next year. But
That's
we'll
awesome.
see. Yeah, Mateo will not be here.
No,
Must
there's
be
no
cool
way.
to have to root for a good team and a team with a future.
Ron's a Mets fan.
Yeah.
Oh.
We have the highest payroll in baseball and we're out of the playoffs. So,
Ever. Yeah.
so that's always fun.
Yeah, you know, I obviously have a soft spot for Buck, you know, for how he
Yeah.
turned around my team.
Yep.
But I don't think he's going to be there at the end.
He's not doing it with the Mets. That's
No.
for
Yeah. So
Nope.
Oh
well.
What are my Cubbies doing?
They're sitting right outside of the wild card spot in the NL, I believe. I think
They
Last-
are.
I
Yeah.
looked the other day. I think they were like, excuse me. I think they were like a half game out of the wild card. So they
Cubbies.
actually they traded a couple prospects to the Nats for our third baseman this year, and he's been killing it ever since he went over. Jamer Candelario.
I don't follow sports enough like I used to when I was a kid. Maybe Brian can teach me stuff while we're driving around.
sure. Yeah, I mean, I'll admit I don't have, you know, the Cubs knowledge, you know, to probably get you up to speed with what they've been doing since you were a kid. But
We have Google.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know, they won the World Series at one point, so you know that's
There you go.
That was a thing.
yeah.
They
Are you
did.
from Chicago?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I'm
Or
from.
how did you become a
Alexandria.
Cubs fan?
I became a Chicago fan in general over the years because I was from the Alexandria, like DC area, and I didn't really like any DC teams.
Okay.
And Bears are cool. 88
Yeah.
Fingers Louie, like old Prohibition era gangster shit. And I just,
Gotcha.
I like Chicago.
I like it. My wife is there right now. She just sent me a text saying
Oh,
that
cool.
she's watching the White Sox game.
What's she doing up there?
She's there for work for the week, some conference or something. So, yeah.
So she
Well,
told you all about it.
Oh yeah. I've been to Chicago before. I'm here by myself now, so that's why I'm day drunk every day.
Yo,
Hey, what's up,
Yeah.
man?
What's up, dude?
not much. Sorry I'm late. I was riding bikes.
Yeah, that's
No
okay.
problem.
No worries.
What kind of bikes?
I raced BMX at Nova BMX
Oh,
bike
fuck
track.
yeah. Nice.
So I have like racing jersey on. I literally like ran out
Hell
of the
yeah.
car, signed on.
Yeah.
Do you remember that movie Rad from the 80s?
Yeah. Heck
Awesome.
yeah, I do. They sold so many. They spent so much money to produce T-shirts in that movie. It didn't mathematically make sense.
It didn't. I always thought at first I thought that movie was a dream because I used to love it when I was a kid, and then nobody ever heard of it. I was like, man, did I dream loving that? Did I make that movie up in my head? And like, The shit
I
was
mean, they
badass.
they had a dude going off the spoon into the cup. Like it's ingrained in my brain. Like, what
Yeah.
kind of BMX track is this? I don't know, but it's amazing. It's rad. It's rad.
And what's
Is
her
that-
name was in it? Cousin or Uncle Jesse's wife, the one who was in trouble for getting the kids.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
She
for
was in
paying
it.
for her
Lori,
daughter to
Lori
go to
Laughlin.
school.
Yeah.
Lori Laughlin. Yeah,
Yeah,
Aunt Becky. I think Aunt Becky is what you were trying to pull.
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah.
Brian for the win.
There it is. Isn't there like a bike dance scene in that movie? Like, did they go to the prom and dance with their bikes? Is that rad?
I hope so. I think
I
so.
just
I have
watched
to
that movie
watch
not that
rewatch
long
it.
ago, but I don't remember that.
It might be. There's like 2 BMX movies from the 80s, but Rad is definitely one of them. The other one, I don't remember the name of. Maybe that's the one where they dance.
The other one wasn't rad.
If you had to pick one to watch forever, you can't watch the other one. Rad or Gleaming the Cube?
I'm watching.
It's tough.
You know what? I've never seen Gleaming the Cube.
Get out of my podcast.
Have you
I know.
seen? But have you seen A Brother's Revenge?
No.
It's the same movie.
Okay.
They changed the name for like 20 years to A Brother's Revenge, and now they've changed the name of the movie back to Gleaming the Cube.
I might have seen it way back in the day.
Yeah,
But I don't remember.
yeah. I
Christian
don't know what.
Slater, Tony
Yeah,
Hawk.
Dude, that's like a
Okay.
trivia night like win right there.
Yeah, I don't know why. Why'd they change the name?
You know what? That kind of I never really put that together, but like a handful of years ago, I was looking for that movie, and you couldn't. Like, there was only like weird, like off the beaten path ways to
Yeah.
buy it, and I couldn't find it. Maybe that's because it was called something else.
Yeah, it was called A Brother's Revenge.
That's dumb.
Yeah.
It's weird. Is that like the Canadian name, and then they like brought it to the US, and then they were like, never mind.
At the 90s, we just got the 90s. One of those things, you know.
I just looked it up. There's totally a bike dance scene in Rad.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
I gotta rewatch Rad now. It's been a while.
Yeah, same. That's
Probably like
it's
it's like a 3-star, maybe 2.5-star movie.
Nah,
out of 10, maybe.
I would say it out of 5, but all right.
Man.
What about Prayer of the Roller Boys?
What?
Never seen that.
Shut up.
That sounds a little erotic. I don't know what kind of movies you're looking at.
I mean, it has the mist. It's
The Mist.
it's old Corey Haim. Look it up. Watch it. It's a lot of fun.
Okay.
I know what
You-
movie you're talking about. As soon as you said Corey Haim, I know exactly
The
what
dudes
movie
on
you're talking about.
rollerblades and their
Yeah.
trench coats and they skate like
Yep,
this.
yep, yes. So bad.
Well, American television has added a new member. Some dickhead. Chris, there he is. Chris, you want to
Yeah.
talk about your entry into the band?
I don't.
Okay, good.
Moving on.
I thought we'd play this a little different this time.
Let's go back to Rad.
That's good podcasting. No is my answer.
No. On a serious note, I'm very fortunate to have accidentally bumped into Steve and over, I don't know, how long have we known each other now? Like a couple of years?
Yeah, two-ish years.
Yeah, I got sort of lucky with that, like in a happy accident sort of thing when they Jared, their other guitar player, decided he had a family move he had to take on. So I was asked to come and hang out, and I have not made them mad at me yet. So they're letting me stick around.
Sweet.
Yeah, just like folks that know Chris and just as we got to know each other, and then we started talking about having him join the band, just like realizing his connection to you all, to some folks down in Richmond, to people in Virginia Beach. It was just like, oh, like it's cool that he already kind of knows a lot of the same people. It's good for the character validation, I would say,
Hell
to
yeah.
have mutual friends. So
For sure.
Yeah.
It's funny, Matt, is I was talking to Callis about this, and because Steve was like, dude, we know the same people, like Tim and Matt, like they all vouch for you, like they're, and I was like, oh, those people vouch for me, and you trust that. Okay. Cool.
look, we all bumped into each other like independently at the Sick of It All show, so I knew everything was good.
That was like the second time though, really, because we all bumped into each other kind of independently at the first Browns Island and Vale show.
That's true
Hung
too.
out. It's like that was totally weird because we all ended up in the same place in the crowd. Like, and that was totally not like a planned thing. There wasn't like, well, let's meet each other by here. We just all kind of fucking ended up in the same place.
Man, we were at
Brian at Busch Gardens.
Yes.
We like walked right past each other and then stopped and turned around and we're like,
Beard.
I know
Music good?
Music good.
Beard good.
We were all like, to be fair, Matt, we were all at the altar of Tim Barry when we
I mean,
bumped into
yeah.
each other. So, you know, you're going to see your brethren at
Yeah.
church.
I mean, that's true, but it was a very large crowd, and we all ended up like making or like taking root in the same area,
True that.
just, like kind of randomly. But then the Sick of It All one too. That's out in Leesburg, and you're right. That is a little bit different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we saw Nate there that night too.
Where was that show?
That
What venue?
Tally Ho Theater.
There it is.
Tally.
A place that doesn't usually have punk rock or hardcore shows.
Yeah, I never heard of that place before.
Yeah.
It's Matt told me about it. It's like an old Leesburg movie theater or something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just looked the place up and read the history about it. But yeah, it was an old movie theater, and back in I want to say it was 2015. Somebody bought it and turned it into a venue. So it's been a venue for a minute. Actually, it might have been older than that. It might have been like 2012. But I'd never heard of it. And it's a big, nice place. Like it's kind of like a little bit less nice the Fillmore.
There you go.
Yeah.
Brian's seen some cool bands there.
I'll
Did
say
you see Brian?
I've been there twice, and both times were to see Living Color.
No shit.
Yeah, and they were great both times. If you have the chance to see them, I highly recommend it. They are like the best, most talented musicians I've ever seen perform ever.
We were talking about RKL earlier because Ron and I both have like completely fallen in love with RKL. And off of they have that one song off of Reactivate. It's called Come to Pass, that every time I listen to it, it makes me want to listen to fucking Living Color every single fucking time. Do you know the song I'm talking about, Brian?
I don't, but I'll check it out for sure. Yeah.
Come to Pass off of Reactivate.
Yeah. Okay.
As soon as it starts playing, you're going to be like, holy shit, this could be a Living Color song. Maybe it is a Living Color song. Maybe they covered a Living Color song and I don't even fucking know. But
That's a name I haven't heard in a long time. That was like one of the, I think we were onto CDs at that point, but like RKL Riches to Rags, I think is the album.
Yep.
1994. Yep.
Yeah, my friend definitely loaned me that when I was a kid, and it was pretty sick.
Yeah.
Like I think I need to listen to RKL again.
Yeah. They're a great band. Like a really, really great band. And they have stood the test of time. They play just as good today as they might play better today than they did back then. Actually, to be honest with you,
I would argue better, but yeah, I drifted away from them for a long time. Like I barely really listened to them when we were kids, and I not again until like this past year. I took some guitar lessons from Chris Rest, and he gave me all this shit to learn that I've completely failed at. But he was like, "Oh, if you listen to such and such with RKL and this and that," I was like, "I'll have to go back and listen," and I did, and it's so good.
Yeah. I don't know how Reactivate was the album back in the day that kind of was like the faux pas album to listen to because Jason Sears doesn't sing on that album. But their older drummer Bomber sings on that album, and he's kind of, I don't want to say he's a better singer, but he's definitely a more talented singer.
He's got a better voice.
I don't know about lyrically. I don't know who the better lyricist was. Probably Jason Sears, but
Bomber could have been a singer in like a hair metal band or something.
Yeah,
like, he
totally
had a legit voice.
Yeah. I mean, he kind of sounds like the guy from Living Color.
Yeah,
he does. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I saw them. Geez, it must have been just like 2 or 3 weeks ago out there at Tally Ho, and it was like flawless, like,
epic. Was everybody just like partying and jumping?
Yeah, it was a good scene. You know, they're a band that's been around for 40 years or whatever now, so they've got their diehard fans when they're playing Leesburg, Virginia. But it was a sold out show and everybody was into it, you know. So and they just sounded great, like, you know, can still hit all the notes, can still hit all the solos. Yeah, they're just
that's awesome.
Yeah, they're tight.
I think I need to hang out with Brian more because he goes to all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't.
Well, I will say, to bridge the gap between sports and music here, my wife and I are going to see the Baseball Project tomorrow. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but it's Peter Buck and Mike Mills from REM, and a couple guys from the -5 have a band called the Baseball Project, and they sing songs about baseball.
No shit.
Yeah. So I saw him at Jam and Java a couple years ago, and it's just wild, like standing in the crowd watching the opening band, and Mike Mills is standing next to me, and it's just like, oh, this guy played bass in REM. Like, that's
what is
wild.
it called?
And the Baseball Project.
Wait, like Jam and Java in DC?
In Vienna, yeah.
Vienna, Virginia.
Oh, Vienna, yeah.
We're going to all the small towns in Virginia to see all the badass bands.
Oh, that's wild. Yeah, they've been around since 2007.
Yeah. It was like a side project thing, and now, you know, REM doesn't play anymore. I think they do it a little more regularly. So
all right, well, let's get into some American television stuff here, because you guys have a new album on the horizon.
I do, and I'm sitting right next to the jackets that came in today.
Oh, fuck.
Oh shit.
I don't know.
You can tell who leads this band when you say you guys have a new record, and Steve goes, "I do."
That's funny. Well, I'll show you guys. I know podcasts are the visual medium these days, aren't they? There's sort of like a only glossy roses. Do you see that? The shiny gloss.
Oh
Yeah, look at that.
So
sweet.
it's like a subtle
Oh, fuck yeah, that's really cool.
thing on there. So pretty psyched about that. And then
Who
you got
does
the
your
back.
artwork?
So this is actually Rockets Are Red. Who's like if you follow him on Instagram, Rockets Are Red. They've done posters for everybody from like the Gaslight Anthem to like Dave Hawes,
Oh, nice.
just Menzingers, like just lots of awesome folks. But they're based in the DMV area, so we were like, "Would you want to do something with the DC band or DC area band?" And he was like, "Yeah, let's do it." So that's who did the artwork.
Nice.
Since it's called Scars, we were like kind of going back and forth, like, you know, should we have a couple that's like hurting each other, or maybe they're not, maybe they're helping each other. And so like we kind of went back and forth with concepts, and he drew a rough sketch and then did this. So pretty psyched that I'll be holding it.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. And the first single you guys put out was pretty rad. And I'm drawing a blank on the name of the song, but I'm sure you can fill me in on that.
yeah, it's called Snakes.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
When is
Brian's filling you in on that.
Yep.
That was pretty fun to work on. Yeah, how did that come together? I guess like the song itself, you know, there's a lot of political turmoil in this area, go figure, in the world. And so we're kind of like talking about that, and I started writing some lyrics about like, you know, dirty money and stuff like that. So when I thought about like the line, oh, what's the line? A little dirt. I can't even remember the old line.
Not a dollar.
Not a
spent
dollar
or
spent or
earned.
earned hasn't seen a little dirt. I was like thinking about how like there's just dirty money like all over, not just in politics but everywhere.
Yep.
And so that kind of inspired the whole thing. And we worked with our buddy James to put together a lyric video, which had a little bit of a film element to it. So if you check out the video on our YouTube, there's like a cool montage of all this like political stuff and the way the money is getting funneled and sort of our sort of interpretation of all that.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, that's a good line too. That
thanks.
That's what drew me in when I first like watched that video, because it's a lyric video. Also, shout out to the guys in Celebration Summer who sat in for that video too, huh?
Yeah, we're like employing our friends in our videos at all times. Yeah, Nathan, he's in the video. It's a small part but we, one of the things that I wanted to achieve with the videos for this record was like that we weren't the focal point, like a performance video. I wanted to do more like story. Like we have a second video coming out. Matt knows about that, but because he's in it. But like trying to do like story based stuff and like not have us be like the main focus. So just exploring different ways of doing videos, since we've always done videos for each of our releases.
Yeah, that's cool. The band that Snubbed Records has signed, Statues on Fire from Brazil, they just put out a couple videos, but it's just basically like live shots of them playing. And there was a lot of people are like, man, I wish like bands would start making like story videos again. So thank you.
No problem. I think it's just because we like the music in itself, like everything's shrinking budgets, we're all more independent and stuff, and it's just like it's easier to make a live performance video. And it's not we'll probably do another one. Like
they're way better than no video at all,
right? But kind of going back to the MTV era that we were raised on, like it was cool to have like a cinematic piece associated with the song, and like so that's kind of what inspired the
and you guys like, in comparison to a lot of other bands nowadays, you guys have a pretty extensive like catalog of story driven videos at this point. Like what's the total number? It's got to be close to 10, if not more. Yeah,
I think it's 8,
including the one that's not out yet, or will that be 9?
That'll be 8, I think. Well, I'm as Brian knows, I'm not good with numbers, so or words either. So things are really going well for me over here. Yeah, I think we're gonna be at 8. No, we'll be at 9 according to our YouTube playlist of our music videos. So we've got Optimist, which was our first video ever, almost 10 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
Explosions in the Sky, riff on Explosions in the Sky. Awkward
That's
Universe.
Such a great song, by the way. Explosions in the Sky. That's a fantastic song. I love that
thanks.
song so much. Yeah.
Chris, you're trying to learn that one now, right?
Yeah.
He's like,
but it's funny. I was just going to say, like, this is actually really good for me because now I can learn a bunch of history that I didn't know about this band.
There you go.
So
I think I know more about the history of American television than Chris does.
So I would agree, and also add that I think Matt knows more about more bands than even the bands themselves know.
Sometimes.
100%. Yeah.
Matt,
this podcast would have failed many, many years ago if it wasn't for Matt, because a lot of times I just go, yeah. Like I know, just to let people think I know what they're talking about. But Matt actually knows what they're talking about, and more so.
Yeah.
We should get you and Brian to do like your own podcast, and you'll be like, "Hey."
Yep.
Best podcast. Like 5-hour episodes.
Like
And I think it's been noted like several times in this podcast where like Matt teaches bands about themselves.
Yeah.
He's like, no. In '96 that came out, and you played the Forum, and you had a yellow Les Paul. Like,
Yeah.
and the like whoever he's talking to is like, oh shit, really?
Yeah.
I forgot.
Matt doesn't just know bands that I've never heard of. He knows who played drums for that band in 1996.
That's awesome.
It's like
I really wanted to.
RKL album came out. Like you just were like, yeah, that was '94.
Yeah.
Trust you. You can lie to us. We trust you, man.
Like when we had speaking of, we were talking about RKL before, we had Joe Raposo on recently, and like I really wanted to know if the whole thing about if Josh Brolin was in RKL was true, because it says that on Wikipedia.
Mhm.
But it's not true. I figured it out before Joe was on, so we never even talked about it because I already know the answer and I don't give it. and like now everybody asks people in that band that question, and I was like, I already figured it out. Like I don't need to talk about this. and the answer to that question is no. Josh Brolin was not ever actually in RKL. He jammed with Barry and Chris Rest before they became RKL, and very possibly some of the songs they wrote while Josh Brolin used to jam with them in high school became RKL songs, but that's up in the air.
I mean, it doesn't, and you know, I like how Wikipedia does like the band members timeline thing.
Yes.
He's not in there.
No, he's not.
Right. Yeah.
Which should tell you something,
That's the official mark.
Even though at the top of the page it says that, or he's listed as a past member. And in the top paragraph, it says something about him too.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. Huh. He was just friends with all those dudes before they became RKO. But Josh Brolin is a punk rocker.
Yeah.
If anybody didn't know that.
And an all-around swell dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if
he was
been
in
on
Goonies, so you know.
But he also may have told people that he was in RKL in an interview one time. Even though
I think he did, and then he didn't realize that it would kind of get out there,
turn into this. Yeah.
And then he did another interview where he clarified. He's like, "Look, I was never in RKL." So he did clarify again.
I was in a room with RKL.
I wonder if he was ever on Turned Out a Punk. You ever listen to that podcast?
Oh yeah, that's a good podcast. Yeah.
I wonder if he's been on there, because the guy that does that, Damian Abraham, like he'll dig deep into like film and stuff to find people that have like a punk history. Like he does a good interview with Fred Armisen and a handful of folks, like some late night hosts and stuff, just like random people that like that have connections to the punk scene. I think it just breeds a lot of creativity. Like people who are into arts often come from a DIY, do it yourself, like sort of mentality. So yeah, I think it's just like naturally converges, and a lot of people go into other things like acting or not acting.
Fred Armisen was at the Punk Rock Museum in Vegas recently doing tours, and he did like a acoustic show at the bar at the Punk Rock Museum. Yeah,
I watched that Punk Rock Moby documentary recently too. That was like,
I haven't seen that.
I think it's on YouTube.
Okay.
It's pretty good, but it's not like anything revolutionary or anything. But it was just like, you know, another documentary about like the 80s punk scene.
Yeah. Did you ever see that SNL sketch with Fred Armisen where he's playing his daughter's wedding?
It's like, who's it? It's like him, Dave Grohl. Who else?
Fist fight in the parking lot. That's and that song could be a
it's
song.
It's a killer
it's so
song,
good.
dude. Yeah, it's so good.
Bill Hader, I think, is one of the guys. In the band.
Yeah.
Best.
Yeah.
Maybe we should add that song to our cover set.
Fist fight in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Dude, let's fucking do it. The song's like 45 seconds, and then obviously we have to like break shit.
We need a wedding cake for the end of the night. Like, put that in our rider, like wedding cake. Wedding cake and folding table, please.
3 tiers minimum. And no fondant. You
And if
asshole.
American television won't play it, Bad Riddance will.
When does the new album drop?
We have our record release show scheduled for September 23rd. So I think it actually will be able to be listened to on the 22nd. Which is a Friday, and then we're playing on the 23rd at Comet Ping Pong in DC.
I've never been to that place. Comet Ping Pong.
Oh,
Yeah.
great pizza, great ping pong.
They actually have ping pong
Pretty
tables?
dope.
They do, but when the bands play, they pack them
Okay.
up. That becomes like the show space. But they've got like a full live sound
Nice.
setup and everything. So it's awesome. We're also playing with the Iron Roses on that, who just put out a song and video today, which is awesome. That's Nathan Gray from Boy Sets Fire, and
Oh, cool.
and they're like a couple of our other friends. You all might know Pedro from Shock Block.
Yeah, a
Richmond.
little bit.
Yeah, so like they're in that band, and there's some other folks that I haven't met yet, but I'm really excited to play with them. The new stuff kind of feels like Against Me to me, so that's my take on it. I love Against Me, and I'm really psyched to play with them because they're doing really well in Europe. Iron Roses are,
Nice.
so I hope that they have as much success here as they're having over there. So it's pretty psyched to be able to do something with them.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to be at that show.
Do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going if you wanna ride up with me.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, if I go, I mean, Red's gonna go too. So we'll figure something out.
That's a Saturday night, 23rd.
Yes. Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So Chris isn't playing that one, even though he's in the band now. So he's coming as a friend and a pseudo fan.
Nice.
I will be at the merch table.
There you go.
Bring me Miller Lights and buy stuff.
Easy enough.
Is that your I can't remember his name. Is that your
Jared? Yeah.
Is that his last show with you guys?
Yeah. He's moved to Ohio already, but he kind of, when we were talking about him moving and the plans for the band moving forward and all that, he kind of was looking for a way to put some closure on everything, since he played on the record and had been in our band for 5 years. So it's just kind of like, we'll do one last hurrah. But he's already out in Ohio with the family. So we've been working hard with Chris, getting up and running so that after that show in September, we're ready to hit the ground, running with the new lineup.
I know he's going to listen to this, so can we all just on the count of 3 say "fuck you, Jared"? Can we just do that to him?
I'm not going to do that.
All right, fine.
I'll let you guys do it, and then I'll say something different.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
Fuck you, Jared.
Jared.
Now, having said that, I will take this opportunity with the assumption that he'll listen to this and say that he has been a gem of a person and like super helpful and supportive of handing over this role that is seemingly very tough, because Brian has like demonic eyes when I miss something on guitar. But he really is, like, it's hard. I can only imagine like giving up something of like 5 years that you've put yourself into and like handing that over to someone else. And he's been super cool about it. Like, he's been really helpful and supportive. And now I have a new buddy to like send pictures of like sexy guitars back and forth with.
Hell yeah.
Like you didn't have enough already.
I don't. If you notice me looking down at my phone, that's the only thing that's happening right now. I have multiple people sending me pictures of guitars.
That's super sweet, Chris. 1, 2, 3. Fuck you, Jared.
What are your plans after like for Chris, like the Chris era? Is there a tour or anything like that?
Yeah. Actually, it'll, by the time this comes out, we'll probably have dates up. We're doing like a small 3-day run to Raleigh, Norfolk, and Richmond with X'd Out. I don't know if you know X'd Out. It's like ex-members of Smoke or Fire. So I'm pretty psyched about that. Smoke or Fire is like a sick band from back in, I don't know, 15 years ago. So pretty psyched to be able to play with some of them and get to know them. And then we've got some other things that we're working on announcing. But that's definitely, what are the dates, Brian? You're better with numbers.
October 13, 14, and
14th
15.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm super stoked to be in Norfolk as always. That's on the 14th, so I'm really looking forward to that one.
Oh yeah, we were like, hey, let's make sure you're real comfortable and take you on the damn road the first thing.
Yeah.
At least you're taking me to a town I love and like I feel at home in.
Let's call that intentional. That was intentional. Yeah.
That's
we
very
did that on
nice of you
purpose.
guys.
Oh, I know all decisions from this point forward have been made to accommodate me. Trust me, I know that's what you're doing.
We all right, so we've already talked to all three of you, so like the 3 questions that we ask everybody have already been asked and answered. Matt, what do you think we should
Well, I think
I'm gonna grab a beer first. Think about it.
I have a question.
Yeah, all right.
I've been thinking about this since the last time I talked to Ron. And it's something that I feel like has sort of been like an icebreaker for me overall.
Mhm.
I've asked Brian and Steven and gotten subpar answers. Matt, I think I know your answer, but I wanted to ask Ron, who's the best Ninja Turtle?
Leonardo.
That's the wrong answer, apparently, Ron.
Apparently.
So I will say it's wrong. Yes, wrong. But it's also out of, I don't know, dozens of people I've asked that question to. That's the first Leo answer I've ever gotten.
Really?
Nobody likes Leonardo.
Why?
Because he's a dick.
But he's got the best weapon.
So
But
you
he's a
actually
dick.
remember their personality traits, like exactly? That
Wait,
you know
wasn't he
he's
the
a
nerd?
dick?
Wasn't he like the smart one, or was that Donatello?
That's
Donatello.
You don't even know what you're talking about.
Dude, I'm telling. All I know is like, look, I'd rather have a samurai sword if I had to choose between nunchucks that I'll probably hit myself in the head with, a stick that does absolutely nothing, or those fucking pointy things that are like
They're called
size.
whatever.
Size.
Raphael is the best.
Those
Yeah,
just
Raphael's
block
the best.
swords. No,
Oh, actually, I take that back. I'm sorry, Brian. I attacked you. You did answer correctly.
Yes.
Raph
I think-
is the best Ninja Turtle.
That's correct. Yes, that's the correct answer.
I think Steve picked Donatello.
I did, and I would argue with Ron on the stick is good because it extends your reach and you could hurt someone from like, let's say 4.5 feet away instead of right up on.
but it's a stick.
I will second Steve's answer because my brain always goes to between Raphael and Donatello.
All right, so if you were in a fight with somebody and they had
A
who
stick.
knows if you were about to fight somebody to the death
Uh-huh.
and somebody was standing next to you and said, okay, you could have this samurai sword or you could have this stick, you're gonna pick the stick?
I would take the bow staff, yeah, every time.
Bullshit.
Oh,
Bullshit. I
damn.
call bullshit on
Every
that.
time. I would
Bullshit.
take the bow staff every time.
Well, I would take the sword
think-
and I would cut your bow staff in half and then kill you.
You'd never get to me.
Matt,
Never.
I think
Not a million
I
years.
think the samurai sword is about as long as the bow, so I don't
No. Bow staff's way longer than a samurai
Longer?
sword.
You
Oh, yeah,
couldn't
way-
even
way
hit me,
longer.
Napoleon.
Yeah.
But the longer it is, the weaker it's gonna be when you swing it.
So here's the same question, only
Two-handed weapon.
completely different. If you were getting your ass kicked and someone had to come save you, would you want Raph or Donatello?
Raph.
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 But that's why I'm saying that's why I chose Raph.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you knew you were gonna get your ass kicked?
Because you know that he's the one that's going to come kick someone's ass.
Well, because the Sai is the greatest weapon in the ninja world. There's not a better weapon.
Yes, there is. There's a sword and nunchucks, and
because
even the
Sais-
stick is
The
a better
Sais
weapon.
catch the sword.
And what do they do after that? And then you're just catching a sword.
Yeah, you catch
not
the
even
sword,
break
and you,
the sword.
and then you stab the guy in the chest.
Yeah,
When he
you
gets-
break the blade
you
off
push
the
it up
sword
and then you
just
stab him in the chest. That's
You guys are
Sais
living
exist.
in a ninja fantasy world.
Sais exist for the sole reason of battling the katana. That's why the Sai was made. It is literally the anti-katana.
Here he is with facts and things
My-
that we don't know again.
My brother is a fucking ninja. and I'm not even kidding. He is literally a grandmaster. He is the highest
Crazy.
level you can get in fucking ninjutsu. Yeah. The Jason
He is the world's only redneck ninja.
All right, when the Jason
Oh, that's a good
show in
Harvard.
December,
Redneck Ninja.
you ask Alex, sorry, ask Hell and V about my brother. They know my brother. He goes by Ninja Tom, not because he came up with that name, because that's what fucking people call him. But you'd ask seriously.
And Matt, why can't we have him on the podcast?
Because he can't
He's
talk,
stealth.
because he has the hole in his neck like Ned from South Park.
I thought you were gonna say because he's a ninja, he can't talk.
No. No, believe me. If he didn't have the
questions, but then I'd have to kill you.
It's not a code of silence. It's a code of smoking.
if he didn't have the hole in his neck, believe me, he's all mouth. but he can back it up. He's been inducted into the Martial Arts Hall of Fame, United States Martial Arts Hall of Fame twice.
Respect to Ninja Tom. Don't come kill me because I made a joke.
I'm dead serious. This is all true.
It was not a vow of silence. It was a tracheectomy.
yeah. Well, he likes to get fucked up, and
at least he's modest with a name like Ninja Tom.
Yeah. Well, that he didn't give that name to himself.
So humble.
He's not.
I will add to this and let everyone know that if you are not following Larry Dickham on Instagram, you were missing out.
Larry Dickham?
Dude, Matt, I'm gonna text you this. It's this dude is hilarious.
How do you spell his last name?
Let me pull it up.
Dickum. Dickham.
Yeah. Like it sounds.
Does nobody pick Michelangelo when you ask that question?
Why would anybody pick?
Because I feel like he was like the most popular one back in the day. Like
I can't remember who it was, but somebody did say Mikey.
Popular and best.
Popular,
are two different
yes,
things.
But the best Ninja Turtle,
Leonardo.
No, because with Raph, you have the skill set, you have the loyalty, you have the bloodlust when he gets pissed off. Like it's just a total anti-hero package. So it's Raph. Like, who's the best Guardian of the Galaxy?
I never saw any of those movies.
Shut up.
I'm not a superhero movie fan.
The best Guardians of the Galaxy, Rocket.
Thank you. And why? Why is it Rocket?
Because he's a talking badass trash panda.
And who's the best X-Men?
Wolverine.
Thank you. And why?
Because fuck you. That's why.
Because the anti-hero of any group is the best one. They're always the one you want to back you up.
Yeah. Why does everybody love Boba Fett? This proves your point. Why do I have this fucking Boba Fett mouse pad right here? I don't know, because he's fucking awesome.
Because you're a nerd.
Yeah.
Because I'm a hoarder and I don't throw out mouse pads.
He has 17 mouse pads.
Chris has the same fucking one. Look, see the same exact.
This is the worst moment in podcast history, right here. Dueling Boba Fett mouse pads.
I'm fairly certain I bought this with Matt in mind. This is my work desk mouse pad. I got something in the realm of things because it's podcast, so everyone will totally see this.
Describe it. You have to describe it.
No one will see it.
So we're not going to describe it, but this is something like between me and Will West from Paperback Tragedy that's been going on for a while. So him and his wife were supposed to come down here and meet us for a day on the boat, like just me and Amanda, Will and his wife Amanda hang out. And I was like, dude, that's going to be super dope, fun. And I knew his birthday was coming up, and I knew he was a Ghostbusters like shitbag nut bar fan. So I bought this for him for his birthday and thought, I'm going to give this to him when he meets us before we jam out on the boat. Well, they bailed on us. And he sent me a text message the other day, because if anybody talks to him, he's like really hard to communicate with. He doesn't answer messages. So on my birthday, I get this message that says, hey man, happy birthday. Your present is a random text message from me. And I said, that's awesome. Hey, listen, I have your birthday present that you never picked up. You can have it when you join us for a boat day. And I don't want anybody to say what it is, because I hope he listens to this. But I want you to see this.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
Okay.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That
That's
is
like-
rad.
That's like, it's
Don't
like,
say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you say to that?
I don't know.
That's a nice thing.
Yeah.
it's like that thing. All right. It's like that thing that Garth says in Wayne's World, but different.
I feel really weird for what's happening in my pants right now after seeing Ghostbusters is the shit, man. That's probably one
amazing.
of my favorite movies of all time.
Oh man, I want to make a patch of that and put it on my leather jacket.
Where'd you have to text me where you got that from.
I will.
Okay.
It's
Cool.
actually it's the same place I got my fat drunk elephant pin and
Oh,
my Beetlejuice Lydia pinup.
Oh shit. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'll text you that in a minute. Also, I know this is the American television episode of this, but I think it would be a missed opportunity to not say it one more time for the internet. How fucking incredible the last paperback tragedy record was.
So good.
It is good. It is really, really good.
So good.
Yeah.
We're
they're
gonna find
super
those
talented.
folks. We're gonna
Yeah.
play with them.
Yeah.
Oh,
Happening.
actually, it's funny you mentioned that. I had mentioned that one day that was in question. And I said, hey, is your schedule open that day? And he said, yep, sign us up for whatever you're talking about.
All right, cool.
So
Awesome.
Also good on podcast secrets.
Well,
This is an audio podcast where we just talk about things we're visually seeing.
yep. It's the best kind, you know.
oh, Ron, your beer looks so dark.
Oh, thank you.
Is it,
You're
can everyone see the color? Ron, where are you?
I'm in Crofton, Maryland.
Okay.
So it's
that's-
like,
I couldn't remember.
It's about 10 minutes west of Annapolis.
We're going to be up there on Saturday.
Annapolis?
Mm-hmm.
For what?
We will. It's our 13th wedding anniversary. So Amanda and I are meeting.
Nice.
Meeting Russell at Oxblood Tattoo in Savannah Park. What? How
No
do you say
fucking way.
Savannah?
Yeah, Russ.
White.
Yeah, I was in a band with Russ back in the day.
Shut up.
Yeah. He tattooed my daughter a year ago. Her first tattoo ever. We went to his shop.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. We were in a band called the Chinese Fire Drill. Like it was fucking back in like the
Dude, God, it's such
early
a small
2000s.
world. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is
It's-
such a small
yeah.
world.
He seems to be like one of the nicest dudes ever.
super nice. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been
That's
super
funny,
cool.
man.
We accidentally met him over 10 years ago when we lived in Maryland.
Okay.
Amanda got tattooed at a shop that he was working at, not by him, but
Mhm.
she was like, dude, you have to see this dude's artwork, blah, blah, blah. And
Yeah.
we met him on the internet and we talked to him a few times about getting some shit done. We never worked it out. And then last year for Father's Day, the boys came to me and they were like, hey, guess what? You're getting your knuckles tattooed with our names on it. And I was like, that's cool. And Amanda said, we're actually driving to Maryland to see Russell White. And I was like, fuck,
Yeah.
that's awesome. And he did my knuckles for me. We talked, he was super cool. And then I went back to him and I got my Strider done a few weeks later. And then now we're going to see him for our 13th wedding anniversary.
Fuck yeah. Yeah. He's like, his shop's like 10 minutes from where I live.
Oh,
That's so funny, man. That's crazy. That's so fucking crazy.
well, now I know, like, I won't see you this weekend, but when I go up there to see him without the anniversary thing
Yeah,
attached.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I'll
you
be in
should
Kentucky
crash.
this weekend anyway.
Yeah.
Where are you having dinner, Chris? You got
Yeah.
like an extra plate or something?
oh, we'll be at is cheeseburger still a thing?
I don't know if it's there anymore.
Oh, well, like, was there one right next to you? Did I just like
There was one in
open a
Annapolis.
can of worms?
Yeah,
Okay.
there was one in Annapolis. Yeah.
Was that the Jimmy Buffett place?
No,
no idea.
that was Cheeseburger in Paradise,
Oh, well,
which also doesn't exist anymore either.
it would be a missed opportunity again to not say Jimmy Buffett sucks, but he does.
I knew we got the right guy for this band. I fucking knew it. We haven't gotten there yet, but we're there now. So yeah, fucking dude, Jimmy Buffett sucks.
I hate Jimmy Buffett.
Dude, I think Chris is converting Edwin to Miller Lite. Like that man, Edwin is like, he's not a beer snob, but he likes heavy beers. And he's like, I won't drink anything just less than a Yingling. And I'm not saying that Miller Lite's less than a Yingling, but I've never seen him drink a Miller Lite. And now he's drank at least 3 or 4 of them at practice.
It's Chris brings them.
Miller Lite is less racist than Yingling. But
It's also like water, so it's like you what's it called? Matt, Matt's a Miller Lite fan.
You gotta get those 4.2s in you.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Steve was like, so in this whole process of me joining this gang, like I was really nervous about Brian because he has this like dead eye like stare that I can't figure out yet.
You keep getting him, Brian.
It's the second time.
Don't ever let the secret out. When they,
Apparently, it's a pretty big
it,
thing. It's the second time he's mentioned it.
I've had a little bit of bourbon, so I'll admit, like most people don't intimidate me, but Brian's kind of got me. Like I haven't figured him out yet.
He's like a teddy bear, but he definitely throws me those daggers when my voice cracks or something. He's like,
just play the song right, and you won't.
Yeah, you said that. You said that last night too. You like looked at Edwin and you're like, just play it right, man.
I'm with Brian. Brian. Just,
you know how it goes.
Yeah, play the song right.
That's funny. Like I'm intimidated now just by having him on
hashtag Team Brian.
Steve said like he wanted to check like and it was totally warranted, but he was like, how are you on like drinking on show nights? And I was like, I don't know, I might have like 3 or 4 or whatever beers before we play. And Steve was like, well, we're more like a 2 beer before we play. I was like, well, I drink Miller Lite. So my 4 or 5 beers might equal your 2.
Yeah, because I'll drink like a Bell's Two Hearted or something like that.
Oh, Bell's, dude. Bell's is like the best.
I know. It's a staple.
I love that brewery. Oh.
Have you ever played a show? Have you ever been so drunk ever in a band where you just regretted it the next day?
Not this band, but yes.
Okay.
Yeah, not this band, but in a band with Matt, yes.
Okay.
I think everybody already knows the answer. My answer is yes.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Although I will say this. The drunkest I have ever been and played a show was not as much of a train wreck as the drunkest somebody in a band I have been in with being a train wreck has ever been, if that makes sense. I probably just took the long way around to make that point, but you get what I'm trying to say.
That you haven't been the drunkest train wreck in a band.
I have never ruined the show being so drunk.
Okay.
I'll just say that. I've been really drunk playing and it didn't end up so bad. It was pretty good, but I have been in a band with somebody who has ruined a show badly by being so drunk. Yeah.
That's never happened to me in a band. We
played. You're talking about me?
Oh no, not at all. No,
that would have been awesome.
100% not. Here like, no. Did I forget something?
No, Chris. No,
we played with
you or I have never come close to being as drunk as the person that I'm talking about.
Are you talking Savage Remains?
Maybe.
Okay, I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. That is a soft yes.
much like Jared is coming back to play our release show. When I was leaving Brooklyn, I was in a band called Pumps, but my previous band decided to do like a reunion because I had moved away, and then I was coming back to play with Pumps, and we're like, let's do a reunion that night. After the Pump set, I got super drunk, and then I forgot I was the singer of Arms Forward, and I was the guitarist of Arms Forward. I just blanked. Like everything was gone out of my head. So I should have just walked off stage. See, I didn't even know. I was a singer. No, I was a guitarist.
It's terrifying when that happens.
It was the bad one.
Yeah, my band opened for Agent Orange at the Rock and Roll Hotel like 4 years ago, maybe. I don't remember playing at all. I was there. I played. I was on stage.
Longer than 4. Oh no, I guess no.
It
No,
might-
that's right. That's
No, it
that's
was
right.
probably 5 or 6 years ago. It
5,
was
6. They
2017, I think.
They shut down in 2019, but
Yeah, I think it was 2017 or 2018.
When is someone gonna take that property and put it back to what it?
I know.
I hope soon. It's
I
just
was talking
rotting.
to Eric
It's just vacant.
from Counterpunch the other day, and I like the first show I took Indy to was Face to Face and Counterpunch at the Rock and Roll Hotel. And I like my Google photo thing, whatever, sent me that memory, and I sent it to Eric, and I was like, dude, that was a fucking amazing night. That was Indy's first like legit show. And he like picked out the walls and he was like, oh, that's the Rock and Roll Hotel, dude. Like, what an awesome place. And I was like, yeah, it's not so awesome anymore. It's
Podcast-
boarded up and like just rotting for years now.
Podcast wise, Chris, who's Indy?
Oh, Indy's our almost 13-year-old.
And who'd you name him after?
Indiana fucking Jones.
The dog.
Well, yeah. It's always the dog with me. You of one of my oldest friends know that it's always about the dog.
Yeah. Well, since you just said that, I just would like to point this out because I think this will become sentimental one day, and you and I, Chris, both have, I think, Steve to thank for this. Yeah, Chris and I have been friends for a very long time. We've been very good friends for a very long time. We've known each other since like 1998 or 1999, I believe. And inadvertently, we both ended up Chris's first piece of media with American television is a video, and the video for this single that we just played a little piece of, and Steve asked me to play the antagonist in said video, and neither of those things have anything to do with one another other than that Chris and I were both there. Chris being a guitarist now in American television and myself being in that video, they didn't have anything to do with one another. So almost 25 years later from where Chris and I started playing music together, we ended up in the same place. And it really had no relevance at all, other than the fact that just happenstances that Chris and I are really good friends.
Yeah,
Right.
pretty
That
wild.
is funny because I was looking through like our video sheet chart that Steve so eloquently organized, and I was like, why is Matt Alive's name in this? And I didn't want to say anything because I hadn't told anybody that I was hanging out with these dudes yet. Like to the point, Steve and Brian, I haven't even told one of my best friends. I was keeping it a secret, like a good boy. But I saw Matt's name in there, and I was like, and I messaged Steve, and I was like, hey, I saw Matt's name in there. He was like, oh yeah, we asked him to be in the video, and I was like, well, this will be fun.
Which is funny because Steve did tell me that. He was like, I've had you penciled in for this for a very long time, and I was just hoping you'd say yes when I asked you. And I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, I would love to do it.
Yeah, kind of. I don't know. Oh, I've been down here over 10 years now, and over the years I've met people all up and down the Virginia, like north, south. I don't know. I've met a lot of good people, and Chris had a lot of connections to them, and a lot of connections that I've met also know Brian, and it's just like cool that this community, even as we age, 4 decades later, that like it's like, oh yeah,
40-year-old punk rock kids.
Yeah, like, I was in a band with that guy when I was 15. That's crazy. I got a tattoo from that guy. Like it's
crazy.
How
It is
that's all
crazy.
connected.
Yeah.
Well, with Russell, he's got luxury teeth going, which is fucking sweet. But
is that like pillows for your teeth, not grills, but like
I don't know where their name came from.
I don't know if I get it, but it's awesome. I know that.
Their drummer Sean has been in. Sean and I have every band I've ever been in. Sean's also been in as either the drummer or the guitarist. That's so crazy, Russell
for Bad Riddance. So not every band.
That's
and
not
the
in your
singer,
imaginary band.
And the vocalist from Luxury Teeth was in Cop Stabber too.
Yes.
Yep.
How did I probably shouldn't ask this question on a podcast, but How did you two meet, Steve and Brian?
Craigslist. We may have covered that on our last
Craigslist?
episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. That's the best.
Wasn't for music at
Misconnections?
first. He was selling a bicycle. No.
I'm looking for a couch and a disease-free harbor to park my genitals and a new band.
Yeah, wait.
It was
Who
the 18
answered-
and over Craigslist.
Yeah. Who answered the ad and who put out the ad?
Go ahead. I put it out. Brian answered it. I mean, I moved down here and I knew like no one. So I had to resort to Craigslist and like randomly like trying to talk to people at shows, which like isn't that hard for me because I'm pretty fine socially, but like it was weird to be like, hey, I like your band. Not Brian in particular, but other folks that I played with over time. I'd go see their band and I'd be like, we should jam together. And I'm like poaching people to like play music with me because I don't know anybody. And it took some time, but now I feel like well connected to the scene and like, you know, through all the bands we've played with, like we've met a million people. So it's just really nice to do that. But yeah, I put the ad out and Brian answered it and he could tell that saga of how long it took to actually get together.
Did he interview you? Was he like, "Are you any good?"
Probably. I probably went to
dig up
band
the
practice
emails.
and was like, I know the songs. Why aren't you playing them right?
Can you play these songs right?
Just play it right, Steve.
I told you Brian's got zingers tonight.
What made you come down from Long Island? Long Island.
I was living in Brooklyn at the time. It's just like I was about to turn 30 and I had partied every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for 8 years straight, and had seen all the museums and done all the exciting things, in my opinion, that New York had to offer. And I was like ready to change things up. And so we were just looking, like I work as a designer, so we were looking for stuff near cities, and we were like, I'm like, you know, what about Boston? Boston's cold as hell. No. So like, rule that out. Philly, maybe, but it's a lot like Brooklyn. It was DC. That's cool. We were actually looking as far south as Raleigh, Durham, like the Triangle area. But that was a little further from family. So we thought that would actually, like, if we had to travel as our parents getting older and stuff, like, we're like, that's just going to be a lot and we're going to have to fly all the time. So we ended up in this area and I've literally never worked in DC. I've only worked in Virginia. So we're like focused on cities and I've only worked in Virginia since I've been here. So
You're inside the Beltway for work. So
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess it was like change of scenery and I love it here now. I think like the first couple of years I was here, since I was struggling to like meet people and have a social life and stuff, like it was like a little challenging, but now like I just love how green Virginia is. The parks are like well taken care of and there's a lot of variety. You go like 30 minutes in any direction. You could be in the mountains, the city, on the river. There's just like lots of beautiful stuff. So
yeah, the ocean's not that far away. Yeah,
not at all.
Yeah, cool, man.
Well, thanks for joining our Brains Hurt Chris edition of Get to Know His New Band.
Sometimes you have to go on a podcast to like have a real conversation.
That's right.
Also, I was assuming that I had the biggest head in this band, but the way your hat's strapped, I'm not sure. So we should measure that on Tuesday.
Is that the last notch or the second to last notch your hat is on?
I got 2 snaps in, but I could go to 3. I was just keeping
You
a
can't
little.
do the one. You
No,
can't do the one.
I have
the one
four.
it gets If you do
Chris,
the
you're
one,
bald?
like
No.
I am. Like,
Just finding that out. All right, you're out of the band.
shit. I buzz it with a 2 and it looks bald as shit because basically it is.
Yeah, well, I'm catching up. I could just push my hair back and see what I'll look like as a bald man.
You have like
That's
the
all right,
Toby
Steve.
Morris from H2O hairline.
Yeah,
I'm
I
right
know.
behind you, Steve. Like this is
We're back to our
Yeah.
visual podcast antics.
Ron. I don't know how Ron might be the oldest. I don't know. Brian,
Probably.
and Ron, maybe.
Brian, like
I'll be 46
Brian
in December.
grew. first of all, Ron, your hair is beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
I wish you could all see it.
I think I'm pretty sure Ron's the oldest here. I'm pretty
No,
sure
I'm
Ron's
46
the
already. So
Okay.
oldest. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, but Brian was a buzz cut and a beard guy, and through COVID grew this luxurious lion mane, and like,
Yeah.
yeah, I
Oh, that's
stopped
new
wanting-
long hair.
And it's
Yeah, I'm
friggin' sweet.
a new long hair.
All right.
COVID long hair. Yeah, I just stopped going to have people breathe on me.
Yeah.
And just haven't cut it yet. It's really annoying
I
and I
dig
don't
it.
like it, but
Okay.
yeah, now it's just kind of a thing because I know the next haircut I get is going to be a buzz cut because it's not great up top there either.
Yeah.
As you can all see listening on the podcast. Yeah, so the next step is probably to take it all off. So I'm living with it while I can here.
There you go.
So you had the beard already?
Yeah, since birth.
yeah.
So this is my COVID beard. If I've ever met anyone that was born with a beard, I would think it would be you.
Yeah.
I would give you credit for that.
How terrifying would that picture be, by the way? A newborn coming out with a fucking full beard. Like Rosemary's Baby and shit.
There's somewhere in the Star Wars galaxy, there are babies born with beards.
That's right. That's right.
Normally, when you guys end these, you do your questions, but we three have all answered them.
Yeah.
So can we ask you questions?
What is your 2 a.m. breakfast order after a night out?
Oh, I know this right off the top of my head, Ron.
Good.
All right. So it's at Waffle House. Duh, because it's 2 a.m. But it's a Texas bacon cheesesteak melt plate with hash browns, covered, chunked, topped, and diced, with extra pickles and extra mayo. Boom.
Not smothered?
What did I say? Covered, chunk. Oh, covered, smothered, chunk, topped, and diced. Sorry.
I was helping.
Thank you. Chris.
I felt like you forgot something.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, boom. That's nailed it.
It's got to be breakfast or just a 2 a.m. meal?
Just your 2 a.m. meal. Yeah.
Okay. Taco Bell, 4 beef Mexi Melts, 2 beef burritos, and an order of nachos.
Your Taco Bell's open till 2
Just a
a.m.
light
still?
snack.
Hold up.
Yeah.
My Taco Bell closes at 11 o'clock.
No, ours is up until 3 or 4.
That's Northern Virginia for you, Steve. Sorry.
No, Maryland.
Ours is still open till 2 on just Fridays and Saturdays.
No, we can run to the border at almost any time.
But hold up. This is the more important thing, Ron.
Yeah.
Your Taco Bells in Maryland still have Mexi Melts?
No, they stopped that a year ago. Like all of them, or a couple years ago.
So I was concerned about that for 2 reasons. A, I don't see them on the menu because now that I'm in American television, Tuesday night's band practice leads me to Taco Bell at night, which Taco Bell for the last 10 years has been like a once a year thing. Now it's a fucking weekly thing, which is
You're
awesome.
welcome for the extra weight.
Yep.
Well, Chris, if you, I know, I think I know you a little bit because we've known each other for more than 20 years. But if you want that non-meat strategy at Taco Bell, because I know you get those bean burritos sometimes, the Fiesta Veggie Burrito, they're like $2.69, and it's basically like 7-layer dip in a burrito. No, yeah. Brian's giving me the thumbs up.
Burrito is the best.
You know what I'm talking about, but they don't have the
green
7
sauce.
They don't have the 7-layer burrito anymore. They have the Fiesta Veggie Burrito now.
But they don't have the green sauce anymore either, right?
No, they don't. They got rid of the Verde like a bunch of assholes.
Yep.
You hear that, Taco Bell?
Yeah.
Mr. Bell?
You hear that, Taco Bell?
I do frequent the Taco Bell subreddit on Reddit. I know what I'm talking about.
It bothers me as your friend that you spend time on that.
Yeah, I have good conversations with people on there.
You actually contribute?
Yes, I talk to people on there all the time.
He's
It's a
the
good
moderator.
subreddit. It is a good.
Mod.
I wish.
Did you go to the John Oliver model during the Reddit blackout as the moderator of the Taco Bell subreddit? That was so funny. They put him in like the corner of every picture.
Yeah.
That was like the rule that they created.
Yeah.
It's a
I'm
weird
telling you,
protest.
it's a good subreddit. It's better than anything Facebook has to offer. I'll just say that.
I know kids collect weird things, but when I was younger and I guess in high school or junior high, Fire Sauce came out with like the little
Hell yeah.
quotes on them. And
Yeah.
my friend Scott like collected them and didn't use them. And he had like
That's the thing.
3,000 packs of Taco Bell sauce.
And they're still totally fine today. I
bet they're fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was
and
I was like,
selling them on
why?
eBay for $1.4 million.
Yeah, I won't do anything like that, but I will have conversations on Reddit about Taco Bell with people. I have done that. I will admit to that.
All right, next
Brian,
question.
you want to wrap us up with your question, Brian? Because I think Chris already asked the question, but he could ask his fuck, marry, kill question. I don't know how close my kid is. So back question.
I don't know. The Ninja Turtle question was a good question. It was. It really was.
I'll leave it at that.
Yeah,
But-
it's not the
But
it's
man,
not the
I'll
first
text
time
you
we've
mine.
talked Saturday morning cartoons on this show.
Yeah.
I don't want to overlap with your other podcasts here, but I'll ask: who is your all-time favorite professional athlete?
Ooh.
I think you're gonna. I have two people in mind immediately.
Weigh some pros and cons.
You know the answer. You know how to play it. Man.
Daryl Strawberry.
Brian,
Yeah.
Brian is gonna like my answer. The Cal Ripken.
Cal
Jr.
Ripken Jr. Yeah,
Yeah.
same answer.
I did grew. I modeled a lot of my life after that dude when I was a kid growing up. Because why wouldn't you if you lived in this area? He was like the best everything.
Yeah.
Ron, you were a New Yorker, right? Is that why Daryl Strawberry?
Yeah. And I love cocaine, so
Yeah.
no, I'm just kidding.
And that's the end of the podcast.
He's in the cocaine hall of fame.
and Ron's career.
You can pre-order the copy of our new record Scars on our Bandcamp at amtvbandcamp.com. Please follow us on Spotify. It's the only way those bastards give a shit about any band. So please just do that. It's literally the smallest ask and it doesn't invade your privacy at all. Just follow us on Spotify and Apple Music. Upcoming shows, we've got October 13th in Raleigh, October 14th in Norfolk, and October 15th in Richmond at the Camel. I should have said the venues for each of those, but those are up on our Instagram, which is AMTV Band. So yeah, keep up with us. We've got good stuff coming, and new video for our second single, Bittersweet, will be out on August 31st. Dying Scene will be premiering that, so keep your eyes on dyingscene.com. Well, thanks for having us on, guys.
Yeah, man.
We had a great time.
Yep.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Pick up a copy of Scars now.
Thanks for hanging out for another week. Be sure to check out punkboxrocks.com and merchslut.com. Check us out on all social media outlets at Our Brains Hurt and at ourbrainshurt.com. We will talk to you next week. Stay safe. Adios.
How do I do this shit? I can still hear you. So what do I have to press? Close.